Marcus Aurelius famously said that the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Think about the last time someone insulted you, cut you off in traffic, or dismissed your hard work. In that burning moment, your blood pressure rises, your heart races. You feel an agonizing urge to strike back, to defend your honor, to put them in their place. But here is the cold, hard truth. The moment you react, you lose. By refusing to mirror a disrespectful person's chaos, you maintain your internal sovereignty and prove you are unreachable. Are you disciplined enough to use Stoic resilience to turn their hostility into your greatest testament of character? Today, we aren't just talking about keeping cool. We are talking about stripping away the power of every toxic person in your life by meeting unearned hostility with a disciplined, unshakable silence. In a world that screams for attention, your silence is the loudest statement you can ever make. Part 1. The Trap of Immediate Reaction. We live in an era designed to hijack your peace. From the digital vitriol in your comment section to the passive-aggressive jab in the office, modern life is a minefield of provocations. These moments are traps. They are designed to trigger your biological reflex, the fight or flight response, to make you surrender your personal agency. When you react instantly, you are no longer the master of your soul. You are a puppet, and the person who insulted you is pulling the strings. Stoicism teaches us that our emotions are the only things we truly own. If someone can make you angry with a few words, they own you. They have dictated your emotional state, ruined your afternoon, and forced you into their gutter. This is the loss of the internal citadel. Imagine your mind as a fortress, a breach in the wall. Every time you snap back, you hand over a key to your city. To be stoic is to realize that the person attacking you is often suffering from their own internal rot. Why would you allow their sickness to infect your health? Part 2. The Power of the Unshakable Void. Marcus Aurelius didn't just suggest we ignore the rude. He commanded that we remain fundamentally different from them. This is the concept of the unshakable void. When someone throws fire at you and you meet it with more fire, the world burns. But when someone throws fire into a void, it has nothing to cling to. It flickers, it gasps for oxygen, and it dies. By refusing to mimic an offender, you achieve the ultimate form of psychological dominance. Think about the psychology of an aggressor. They expect a reaction. They need it to justify their own behavior. When they meet your void, your calm, steady gaze, and your refusal to be moved, it creates a terrifying mirror for them. In your silence, they are forced to hear the echoes of their own ugliness. You aren't just winning a social exchange, you are starving their ego. Disrespect withers when it fails to find an anchor in your emotions. Part 3. Neutralizing hostility through emotional sovereignty. How do we actually do this when the insult stings? It begins with a psychological shift. You must learn to view an insult as mere external noise, like the barking of a distant dog or the sound of the wind. It has no meaning unless you translate it into a personal truth. The Stoics call this the clarity gap. This is the millisecond between the provocation and your response. In that gap, your entire character is decided. Provocation, the gap, response. Most people live without the gap. They are purely reactive. But the resilient man or woman expands that gap. They breathe. They look at the insult and say, "This is about them, not me." This is emotional sovereignty. You are the king or queen of your internal landscape. You decide what enters and what stays outside the gates. When you realize that no one can hurt your soul without your permission, you become invincible. Part 4. The discipline of strategic silence. Let's talk tactics. This isn't just a mindset, it's a physical discipline. In 2026, silence is often mistaken for weakness, but in reality, it is the highest level of self-regulation. When faced with disrespect, 1. Maintain neutral physical presence. No clenched fists, no furrowed brow. 2. Steady eye contact. Not aggressive, but unblinking. It signals that their words did not land. 3. The strategic pause. Wait 3 seconds longer than is comfortable before speaking, if you speak at all. This isn't giving the silent treatment, which is petty. This is strategic silence. It signals that you are operating on a higher frequency. It builds a reputation of a person who cannot be rattled. In the long run, people stop trying to provoke you because there is no payoff. You become a mountain, and no one tries to argue with a mountain. Part 5. Character as the ultimate revenge. Ultimately, the goal of Stoic resilience isn't to defeat others, it's to master yourself. But a beautiful byproduct occurs. Your consistent non-reaction builds an indestructible personal brand. You begin to command respect without ever having to demand it. When you refuse to be dragged down into the mud, you force the offender to confront the vacuum of their own self-control. Your character becomes your greatest revenge. Years from now, no one will remember the petty insult thrown at you, but they will remember the person who stood tall, unbothered, and dignified while the world around them was losing its mind. In the social complexities of 2026, where everyone is desperate to clap back, your peace is your power. Your calm is your weapon. Thank you for walking this path of ancient wisdom with me today. If you found strength in these words, it's because that strength already exists within you. You just needed a reminder. If this message touched your soul, please like this video and share it with someone who is currently struggling with a difficult person. Your support helps us bring the light of philosophy to a world that often feels quite dark. Leave a comment below with the word sovereign if you are committing today to reclaiming your peace. I read every single one of your reflections. And finally, subscribe and turn on notifications to join our community of modern Stoics. Welcome to the journey of the unshakable. Remember, the best revenge is simply to be better. Until next time, stay resilient.